Randy, tell us your story. A lot of people may have heard about you, but I think it's important for people to hear your background.
I've worn many, many hats in my professional career. I have been a firefighter, fire captain. I have been in the Texas State Guard. I've been an IT security software specialist for many years, which includes, going into some of the largest companies in the nation, including the state, the Pentagon and the state capitals and what have you, and helping them figure out how to keep bad guys out of their network. I found myself in a very interesting position back in 2016. I was about 24 years into my IT security software career when I learned that the company that was my largest contract, that pretty much was my income, they were sold to private equity. At the time, I was a contractor for them. I started out as an employee, but when I moved from California in '05 to Texas, they were not incorporated in Texas, so I had to move to 1099 and become a contractor. And that wasn't part of the deal. So I found myself in a unique position where I needed to change careers. And I thought I could do one or two things. I can go to LinkedIn. I felt like I could probably land on my feet fairly quickly in the IT security space. I knew all my competitors. I'm pretty certain that many of them would have brought me on. They knew that I was a leader within our company but I also was my office was right next door to this roofing company called DT Roofing. And DT Roofing, at the time, about a $1.5 million residential roofing company that had been in business since 2009. My now partner, Derek Tanner, the DT, he understood construction. He understood roofing. Where he struggled with, and he'd tell you this if he was on the call, was the business side of things, the sales, the marketing, those type of items. And so I would go to lunch with him while I was still doing my day job, and he'd bring up various issues that he was having, and I'd give him some suggestions like, hey, have you considered this? Have you tried this? And he'd try those things, and some of those things would work. And so, what else you got? And I'm like, well, I can't really offer anything else without actually doing the job, because my mom had 4 boys. 3 of them were in construction, and one of them was a computer nerd. So I started selling for him on nights and weekends to try to learn the craft, to learn the industry, so that it was coming purely from a position of helping. Yes, I was making money selling, but I made plenty of money in my IT security software gig, so I really didn't need the money. It was more about helping a friend, and I was interested in it. Well, that actually worked out really well for me, because when private equity came and pulled the rug out from under me and I no longer had a job, I was able to start working for Derek as a salesman. Quickly turned in from being just a salesman to being the leader of the sales team to then running operations for the company. After a few years of doing that, we went from this company that could never breach $2 million to being a $5.7 million company at the time. And that's when I asked for equity in the company. I basically said, listen, I'm not going to do this to my family again. I've already lost one job and didn't know what I was going to do, and I'm not going to do it again. I'm not going to help somebody build a company and then be out looking for a job. So he agreed. And it's been a great journey since 2016. We've not only increased our revenue up to $30 million in revenue last year for our residential roofing company, but we've started a commercial roofing company that's doing extremely well. We started a construction company that builds homes, does remodels, additions, outdoor experiences. We have a garage door and service company and a gutter company. They all feed off of each other, but then they also are all individual companies that have their own customer base as well.